Hi guys, cinematic recap here. Before we start, warning. Spoilers ahead. Today, I'm gonna explain an American action and thriller movie, called The Gray Man. In 2003, a senior CIA official named Donald Fitzroy visits a convicted murderer in prison, who was convicted of killing his abusive father as a minor in order to protect his brother in 1995. Fitzroy offers the man his freedom in exchange for working as an assassin in the CIA's Sierra program. After accepting the offer, the man is dubbed Sierra 6. 18 years later, on a mission in Bangkok, 6 is approached by a fellow CIA agent named Danny Miranda. The two are ordered by their leader, Denny Carmichael, and his subordinate, Suzanne Brewer, to assassinate a target suspected of selling off national security secrets. When 6 wants to shoot the target, a child suddenly comes at the man, making him unable to stealthily kill the target without harming civilians. Because of that, he carries out another plan by attacking the target directly, while Miranda also helps him incapacitate his men. 6 ends up wounding the target to death. Before dying, the target reveals that he worked in the Sierra program as Sierra 4, and hands 6 an item that looks like a necklace. Shortly after, Miranda arrives and reports to Carmichael that the target had been killed. Other CIA officials immediately search for his belongings, but they cannot find what they are looking for. Hence, Carmichael calls 6 and asks him about the item, but 6 lies that he does not know anything about it. He then goes to a local internet cafe and inspects the item, but he finds that the content is encrypted, so he decides to send the drive somewhere using postal mail. Besides that, 6 also chooses to refuse evacuation from Bangkok with Carmichael's men. As a result, he requests extraction from a now retired Fitzroy. Meanwhile, Carmichael hires mercenary Lloyd Hansen, a former CIA agent kicked out of the agency for his sociopathic tendencies, to track down 6 and retrieve the drive. Hansen does so by kidnapping Fitzroy's only niece, Claire. On the other hand, 6 finally arrives at the extraction site in Chiang Mai and gets ready to leave with the extraction team. Elsewhere, Hansen confronts Fitzroy and asks 6's whereabouts. Since he does not want to tell him, Hansen threatens him by saying that his niece had been kidnapped by his men. Therefore, Fitzroy is forced to authorize 6's murder by the extraction team. Afterwards, a fight ensues on the plane, until the fuselage is shot. Fortunately, 6 ends up killing them all and manages to escape before the plane explodes. In the meantime, Fitzroy is in a car with Hansen and they call 6, who has been in Turkey. After threatening 6, Hansen additionally puts a bounty on 6's head to attract the world's best mercenaries and assassins to hunt him down. 6 then continues his journey and recharges his stamina on a train. In a flashback 2 years earlier in London, a Sierra program handler named Margaret Cahill orders 6 to take care of Claire. Apparently, Claire was born with a heart condition and her parents were dead. One night, while checking the surveillance cameras, Claire's illness suddenly recurs, so 6 has to take her to the hospital. After returning from there, Claire plays a song to calm herself down, while 6 fights off an intruder trying to break into the house. Back in the present, 6 visits his contact, Laszlo Sosa, in Vienna to apply a new passport. Unfortunately, the man betrays him during the photo shoot by trapping him in a dry well and explains that his bounty reward is $50 million. The scene moves to Berlin, where Carmichael is interrogating Miranda about the Bangkok mission. After a while, he receives a message informing him that 6 was found in Vienna. Hansen, who is on a plane, also receives the information and immediately shifts his destination to Vienna. Later, 6 is able to destroy the water pipes, sending him floating upwards. At the same time, Hansen arrives with his team and shoots Laszlo dead instead of giving him the money. After blowing up the well, 6 eventually escapes and is subsequently rescued by Miranda, who somehow comes to the location. However, he is also taken captive by her after learning that her reputation is in tatters following the Bangkok mission. She initially plans to bring him in to salvage her career at the CIA. A few moments later, 6 wakes up and tries to explain everything to her. He then convinces Miranda to drive him to see Cahill in Prague, where she might be able to decrypt the drive. Frustrated, Carmichael sends Brewer to oversee Hansen and keep him in line. Hansen holds Fitzroy and Claire hostage in a mansion in Croatia, where he has also based his operations. Soon, one of his men shows a surveillance footage in Bangkok, which reveals that the device was sent to Prague. Since they do not know the exact location, Hansen tortures Fitzroy by pulling out his nails with pliers, but he still does not reveal any information about it, until they use Claire to threaten him. Long story short, 6 and Miranda finally arrive at Cahill's home, where 6 asks for the device he sent some time ago. Cahill says that she succeeded to decrypt the drive, which reveals the extent of Carmichael's corruption on behalf of a mysterious benefactor working for a shadow government. In short, Carmichael uses the CIA agents as his own personal hit squad. Because of this, they decide to leak all the information to the press. Meanwhile, Hansen sends several teams of assassins to Cahill's home. Just as Six wants to leave to find Fitzroy and Claire, the assassins storm the house with bullets, leading the terminally ill Cahill to sacrifice herself to give Six and Miranda the opportunity to escape. After Cahill blows up her house, Six manages to escape safely, but he is surrounded by the police. At first, he is able to run away, but later he is arrested by the police in a park. At that point, Hansen orders his Alpha team to kill Six, including the police who get in their way, despite Brewer's protests. Moreover, Hansen orders his Bravo team to help the Alpha team because the police ask for SWAT assistance. On the other side, Six is able to free himself after finding a gun and enters a public electric train to escape, followed by the Delta team ordered by Hansen. In further gunfight, Miranda suddenly comes with Cahill's bulletproof car to help Six escape. As the train starts to go off track, Six manages to jump on top of Miranda's car before crashing into a building. Soon, both of them take refuge in a hospital, where they can track down Claire through the wireless signal broadcast from her pacemaker. However, a mercenary named Lone Wolf suddenly comes to the room and stabs Six's hand with a knife. After a long fight between them, the mercenary manages to steal the drive and quickly escapes from them, bringing it to Hansen. Afterwards, Six and Miranda head to Hansen's mansion and incapacitate some of his men guarding outside. When Hansen and Brewer intend to delete any information on the device, the power suddenly goes out. With Miranda creating a distraction, Six infiltrates the mansion and rescues Fitzroy and Claire. Hansen just realizes that he was being tricked, so he returns to the room only to find nobody there. On the other hand, Miranda uses her bazooka to blow up their control room. Unluckily, Fitzroy is shot in the chest and mortally wounded as the group flee. Therefore, he tells Six to escape with Claire and ends up sacrificing himself in a failed attempt to kill Hansen. Miranda also infiltrates the mansion, while Lone Wolf waits for her. He eventually defeats Miranda in a fight, but he decides to give her the drive anyway after becoming disgusted with Hansen's willingness to kill children and his lack of honor and morals. Not long after, Hansen catches up to Six, and he manages to take Claire hostage and drags her into a hedge maze. After a standoff, Hansen lets go of Claire and fights with Six, but before Six can kill him, he is shot dead by Brewer. She then tells Six that she plans to pin Carmichael's actions on Hansen in order to gain leverage over him. Not only that, she also pledges Claire's safety, but only if Six continues to work for the CIA. 2 weeks after the incident, Six undergoes medical treatment in Washington, D.C. while being closely guarded by many officers. Meanwhile, he and Miranda are forced to cooperate in the cover-up, where ultimately no action is taken against Carmichael, who has destroyed the drive. After the debriefing at the CIA headquarters, Miranda threatens to kill Carmichael if any harm befalls Claire. After that, Brewer and Carmichael get a report that Six has been unresponsive lately, such as not wanting to eat or talk. However, it turns out that Six has killed all the officers guarding him and escaped custody. He then goes to a secret location in Virginia and eventually frees Claire, who is listening to a song, similar to the time Six fought off an intruder at her home 2 years earlier. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.